Hi, this is Sophia and welcome to Philosophy with Sophia. So today I wanted to talk about utilitarianism, and utilitarianism is a little bit more of an ethical philosophy than the philosophies I've talked about so far. One sentence that would kind of describe the whole entire feeling of utilitarianism would be greatest good for greatest number. And that is what, at its heart, utilitarianism boils down to. Now, of course, the question is, what does that actually mean? And what it means is that utilitarians think that your actions should create the most possible good for the greatest number of people. And most good could also be put as the least amount of pain and suffering. Sort of an example to illustrate the working of this philosophy would be the train problem. You've probably heard of this problem before. There's a train and there's two tracks it could go on, and you have control of which track it goes onto. And on one track there's a number of people, 4, 5, 6, 7. It doesn't really matter the number. The point is there's more on one track than on the other. There's usually only one person on the other track, and you're supposed to decide which track the train would go on. Now, with just that base, most people would choose the track with one on it because you're killing the least amount of people, and that's utilitarianism. But a utilitarian would kill that one person on the track no matter what. If it was their best friend, their brother, their mother, their childhood teacher, whatever the relation between them, they would kill that one person, because it's not about the relations or anything, it's about the greatest possible good for the greatest number of people. And like I was saying, this is a ethical sort of philosophy. It's supposed to tell you how you would behave, what choices to make that are ethical. And in this philosophy, the ethical choice, the right choice, is the one that will make the greatest possible good for the greatest amount of people. So utilitarianism is a philosophy that judges the actions based on the consequences. So to judge whether an action was right or not, you would look at how much good it has created and for how many people. So one important utilitarian philosopher is Jeremy Bentham, and he was the founder of utilitarianism. He published a book in 1780 that laid down the foundation of utilitarianism and talked about this principle of utility. Utility is the same thing as saying how much good are you going to cause for how many people. And that would be sort of the utility of an action, and that's why it's called utilitarianism, obviously. John Stuart Mill is another important utilitarianism, and he was brought up with Bentham's philosophies, and he added to them. He said that some pleasures are inherently better than others. Don't know which pleasures those would be, but I'm sure he had some idea of that. So if you want to learn more about what he thought, you can probably look him up. And another important utilitarianism is Peter Singer, and he's a modern utilitarian. Utilitarianism isn't a philosophy of the past. Some philosophies were in fashion, in ancient Greece or in the 1800s, 1900s, but people don't really believe in them anymore. But utilitarianism has stuck around, and there are a lot of things today that it can be applied to and that people use utilitarian arguments for, like social welfare programs, the economics of those, the global poverty problem, and even things like the ethics of keeping animals for food. So it's still a philosophy that people believe in, and it has many applications. And I think it's a very interesting philosophy, although I don't know if I quite agree with everything about it. But that's how it is with most philosophies, You agree with some parts of it, you don't agree with some others of it, and you can take ideas from different philosophies and make your own philosophy. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned a lot about utilitarianism. I know this isn't everything there is to know about utilitarianism, and if you are interested in this philosophy, you should definitely go and look up other things about it. It's very interesting, I think. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video.